am live in all the right places. Let me go here. Turn this down, of course. Hit this, and I am live. Okay, great. I'm live, so I can hear me. That's what's really important. I don't know if it's most important, but it's important that I can hear me. So chances are, if I can hear me, you can hear me, which is good, which is great. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about why it's important that you should build your parallel income before it's too late. And what do I mean by too late? For some people, they're going to say it's already too late, but really, really important. Think about it in a few different ways, right? What currently here in the United States, and I'm sure all over the place, we're seeing global instability. And so, with global instability, that means there's going to be local instability, and you need to start thinking about the future, right? What could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? You could currently lose your job. The cost of things could get it. Where can I watch you live? I'm watching it through YouTube. Are you on Facebook? Yeah, you're. I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Twitch. I think I'm on LinkedIn too. But I'm live right now. So if you have questions for me that you want to ask, Time Traveler, I can get them answered. But in general, you want to. So there's a few reasons why you want to start building your parallel income now. One, you want to start putting seeds in the ground for the future. And I look at video content. So I make a lot of video content. And the reason why I make a lot of video content is because the video content is working for me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't have an issue with making five YouTube videos, long form YouTube videos per week, 5 TikTok videos per day, and then having my long form videos repurposed into shorts and other things. Because I understand that the power of content allows me to work all the time, even when I am not working, even when I'm coaching my kids. Like, for example, right now, there are 8,000 people watching my long form videos. That's 8,000 opportunities that I have. And that number is only going to grow over time because I continuously upload. And so, it's one of those things where you might not get the views that you want today, but the videos that you create stay on the internet forever. And so that affords you the opportunity to continue to grow, continue to get views and interaction and engagement, continues to allow you to sell your digital products. But what do I mean by so the topic of the conversation is build your parallel income lane before it's too late. You can, if you're an hourly worker, you could see a reduction in shifts, right? You could, but what a lot of people are doing is they're making all their money from overtime. And when there's an economic downturn, what happens? People stop giving out overtime because the businesses that you're working for, they aren't making as much money. There isn't as much demand for the products. For example, my last job, I was a software developer. I did software systems for like a UPS, so like giant uh, giant battery backups for manufacturers. And right before I left, this was like right on the cusp of COVID. They were offering a lot of overtime, but they had it was a really crazy situation. They actually laid off a bunch of people and then offered overtime, and then they gave us all $25 Walmart gift cards. It was a weird situation for Christmas. But what could happen? Well, they stopped offering overtime. And if you're counting on that overtime to pay your bills and they cut back on the overtime, that's a significant loss. And so you don't want to wait for that thing to happen. Even if you think you've got a good job, even if you think you have a stable job, you don't want to wait for the other shoe to drop. And unfortunately, a lot of people wait. They say, I'm making good money right now. I've got a good job. Things are going well. Get back. But it can happen unsuspectingly, right? And you might think, hey, my industry is insulated from all of this stuff, but really every industry is interconnected, and so you don't know what loose thread could actually cause a layoffs at your company. So if you're working hourly and you're living your life based on overtime, that's unsustainable. That can go back, lead to. Are you watching the Yankees? No. Yeah, this is live. I'm actually playing. I'm playing this game right now. Time Traveler says, I love my husband, but he's not a go-getter. I need money to support the lack of money he doesn't make. I'm a doer. Then start creating content. I can't see your profile, Time Traveler, but start creating content. Create content to for a specific group of people. Both our cats are in the shop now. That is a motivator. Both our cars in the shop. Yeah. And that's another thing. You don't want to wait for an emergency to happen. Right. And it doesn't have to be a big emergency. It could be something as simple as your car needs brakes. It's a thing that happens frequently. But what I would tell you to do is, Time Traveler, is I would start creating content. Find a problem that you solve for yourself. Chances are the problem that you solve for yourself, you have solved it for. There are thousands of other people out there that need that problem solved too. Go out and solve it for other people, and you attract people through your content. So, for example, if you're in the travel niche, if you are in the travel niche, teach other people how to travel. Teach people how to travel on a budget. Teach people how to go to specific places on a budget. How to go to, Timbuktu on a budget. How to save money. How to travel with kids. But the thing is any problem that you solve for yourself, chances are there are tens of thousands of people that are currently going through that same problem or will go through that same problem in the future. And that's the other reason why I create content. Because every single day there's a new person that is realizing that they have a problem that I can solve. Right. And that's the beauty of my content. It sits on the internet forever. It continues to get views forever, and it's always going to find somebody new. So think, Time Traveler, what are some problems that you've solved for yourself recently? And like within the last 3 to 5 years? And then, so what you're going to do is, once you identify problems that you solve for yourself, you're going to come up with a list of 5 to 10 digital products that you can create and sell. Right? And so we want to create something small and specific. If we were in the travel niche, we might want to create a simple guide. Maybe we create like a budget planner or a budget checklist so that they can travel. You could create kind of like a calculator to estimate how much money you're going to spend on a vacation, and make sure that you put money aside for that. You could actually help them come up with a savings plan so that even if they only make $3,000 a month, they can still put money away for that. I'm a massage therapist. Yeah, that's a really good one. Hey, what's going on? Is it Alexa, whatever. How are you? I'm good. So yeah, you could, if you're a massage therapist, that works out really well, because there are people out there that are in pain, and you teach them. Or first you got to identify who you want to help. Are you trying to help other massage therapists, or are you trying to help prospective clients. Because not too long ago, I used to go to a chiropractor, and he sold a book, and I told him, I said, look, you're thanks for following. Um, it's great that you're a massage therapist, but your total addressable market is only the 200,000 people that live in this area. If you want to make more money, if you want to have like speaking engagements, start creating content on the internet. But what you could do is you could essentially, if you're a massage therapist, create videos teaching people how to solve um, some issues at home, and then sell a little routine that they could follow, a 14-day routine that you map out. It could be a simple workbook or planner or a guide. It would just be a guide helping them solve a specific problem. So you start off with creating content, giving them simple tricks, telling them why different parts of their body hurt, and then how to solve it. And then you give them, you create a simple digital product where you say, hey, look, if you want to solve that problem faster or easier, check out my guide. It's linked in the bio. It'll show you how to, it'll show you like 10 different exercises you can do at home that will alleviate whatever pain you got. Does that make sense? Time traveler. And you can, how's your stream going so far? It's going good. Thanks. And so what you can do is you can create that for free using Google Docs. Save it as a PDF. If you want to, you can create it in Canva, save it as a PDF, and then you create a sales page, and then you sell it through your content. That's all you got to do. And you might wonder, like, why would somebody buy from you? Because people build a connection with you through your content. You're showing that you can solve their problem through the content that you're creating. Do you stream only MLB or something else? I'm not gonna buy anything, Alexa. So I've seen the script play out a few times. I know that. And just real quick before you hop off, jumping in live streams and fishing is the least efficient way for you to make money. Because let's crunch the numbers here real quick. Let's say you do 10 live streams a day and you spend probably about 15 minutes in each one of these live streams. You do 10 live streams a day. 5 people aren't interested in buying the service that you're offering. 5 people are interested, but you're kind of going back and forth. You might get 3 of them that are really interested, but you only secure 1 of them because of the price. The biggest issue that you run into when you're jumping on these different live streams is that your value is devalued, right? Because there are so many people just like you that are willing to jump in these live streams and have these exact script conversations that it really devalues you. What you should do is you should create content on YouTube about being a graphic designer for Twitch, because there are people right now searching. They want to learn how to improve their Twitch stream. And one of the ways they can improve their Twitch stream is by better graphics. And so what you should do is create content to attract people to you. When people come to you, you can charge what you want. When you go to people, you lose a lot of the bargaining power that you have. So I'm going to recommend, I know that there's a whole script coming with regards to trying to sell graphic design services. And it's the least efficient way, because how much time are you wasting per day jumping in these different live streams trying to get people to buy your service? And how many times are you frustrated because people aren't willing to pay whatever you're charging for your service? Probably won't answer, but Josh says, hi, bro. I'm an affiliate marketer. I know a lot about CPA networks and methods to make money, then also focused on the money niche as well. My channel, I'm starting small. All right. The only thing I'll say, Josh, is you shouldn't teach people how to make money online if you've never made money online. Now, I don't know, obviously, if you have or haven't, but I think one of the biggest problems with the internet and I would say YouTube in particular, is there's a lot of people out there that are teaching how to make money online based on what they've seen and heard, and not necessarily what they've done themselves. And so you can kind of see through it when people start asking questions and they can't answer it. But like I said, if you've made money online, feel free, go crazy to teach other people how to do it. But if you've never taught anyone if you've never made money online yourself with the methods that you're teaching, I don't necessarily recommend it. There are so many different niches out there that will that you can get into, that you don't have to chase the money. Now, again, I'm not jumping down your throat. I just see it. I see it a lot over on TikTok, where people have been drawn in with the side hustle content over on TikTok. Then they're sold a course on how to sell the course, which I think is really unethical and kind of shady, right? Because they don't actually know how to make money online. They don't know how to do it consistently. And if you don't know, I've been online doing this for almost 11 years now. My first niche was my first affiliate commission was with Bluehost and Quora. My first actual niche was in security cameras. So like video doorbells, Ring video doorbells. I had a blog. I've had a number of blogs. I've sold or earned commissions for web hosting, video doorbells, microwaves, stand mixers, sound bars, because I had separate blogs and YouTube channels for each one of those. So again, not trying to jump down your throat, just it's just one of those pet peeves of mine, because you'll see a bunch of people pop up, and it's kind of a cycle. And the same thing happens with YouTube automation. It's a cycle. People will see the gold rush opportunity of YouTube automation, and then they'll start making content based on the content that they've seen and not done themselves with YouTube automation or making money online. What time is it? It's 17 minutes. Anyway, the main topic, if you guys have questions, definitely throw them out there. Was it Time Traveler? Time Traveler, did my little explanation make sense? If not, let me know. We'll go back and we'll do it again. We'll do it live. Way too early. Anyway, what was I saying? In general, you should have more than one income stream. You should have an active income stream, maybe like your full-time job, and then you should have an income stream that is working for you in the background while you're at work. Something that, and I don't like to call it a side hustle, because it requires a little bit more than just weekend warrior stuff. It's something that you've got to do. And I don't like to call it passive income, because you're going to be actively working on this day in and day out, especially if you don't have the skills needed to be successful. You're going to spend a lot of time learning the skills and implementing them. Josh says, I hear you. I've not started selling courses. I'm on the journey to start selling value. My question is, if you were starting today with no money, what would you advise someone like me? Basically kind of what I mentioned. First thing, I will go back. Why didn't you go to third, fool? First thing that I would do is identify a specific group of people. The reason why I started off with security cameras was because there were people. We moved in this house, I don't know, 13 years ago, and it was the subdivision was in various stages of being built. We had built this house, and I was up early one morning, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., something crazy. And I'm looking outside, and I see a group of 12 to 15 high school age kids. They're going in and out of the houses that are in various stages of being built. And so I wanted to make sure that people weren't messing around our house while I wasn't here. And I started doing a little bit of research about security cameras and security cameras and video doorbells. And I realized that there wasn't a ton of information about video doorbells from the consumer perspective. There was a lot of information from the manufacturers, but not a ton from the consumers. And so that's why I started my blog and my YouTube channel. I still have my YouTube channel up today talking about uh, different security cameras and doorbells. But that's how I got started. I got started when I identified a problem, an area or a gap in the market. Now, for you, look at problems that you solved for yourself. And then I actually did a full YouTube video, I think yesterday, that lays out this process. I think it's like 25 minutes long. But look at the problems that you solve for yourself. And then I would find and follow, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 50 YouTubers that are in your same niche. Look at the videos that they're creating and see if there's a way that you can model success. Now, I'm not telling you to steal anyone else's work. I'm telling you to look at the videos that are working well, figure out what's working with them, and try and model the success. That's what I would do. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. In fact, these platforms don't want you to reinvent the wheel. These platforms want you to continue to serve the same, continue to serve similar content as what's already worked. All of these platforms, what you got to understand is all these platforms behave the same. The goal of these platforms is to keep people on the platform, right? And the best way to keep people on the platform is to serve them things that have been proven to work. And so what you can do is go out and find videos that have worked. Don't watch the videos. Look at the title, look at the thumbnail, model those two, but then add your own spin. Make it unique to you. That's how that's how you can get started. That's how you can get started relatively quickly. Don't try and reinvent the wheel when you're just getting started. Model what's already working. Does that make sense? So find something that you're already interested in. That, oh, go back. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. Why did you take off? This guy's not paying any attention. Anyway, let me know, Josh, if that makes sense. The other thing that you can do is you can share your journey. That's another way that you can go. So let's say you say, Josh, the affiliate, you report back your successes and failures with affiliate marketing. Okay, I like creating tutorials on how to use and integrate OpenClaw, something I have learned from you. Do you think that's a quick start? Yes. And the reason why OpenClaw is a quick start is because there's a lot of interest in it and there's not a lot of content about OpenClaw. And so what I would do, and what I should do, quite honestly, is make videos about different case studies that you've been implementing. For example, I have OpenClaw. I've got OpenClaw open right now. I've got it on my Mac Mini here. I've got OpenClaw doing like 20 different things. You could use OpenClaw, or you could make, I don't know, 20 different videos talking about the different things that you've done and that you've learned using OpenClaw. There's not a lot of content information relative to the amount of interest. And so that's a really good opportunity. And that's exactly what I would do. Yes, it does. What are you saying? What you're saying makes sense. Okay, good. Yeah, so what you can do, and I made a video maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago about OpenClaw and different ways that you can monetize it. One of the ways that you can monetize is with affiliate marketing. You can recommend the different tools, the different AI softwares that connect to it. You could sell skills, so like you could make skills and then sell them. What else did I say? You could have a membership over on School if you wanted to, and get paid reoccurring. You could build like an OpenClaw wrapper that you put on top of it, layer on top. That's essentially what a lot of people have done with OpenAI. But yeah, there's so much interest in OpenAI. So many people want to learn about it. Did I hit for the cycle? Nice. And it's so new. And like I said, I think I did a video about this a week or two ago. Different use cases, different things that you could do, different things that you could implement. But yeah, new is always good because there's always going to be early adopters, and there's so much hype around it. You could even take your videos from YouTube, long form YouTube, chop them up, and put them on TikTok. There's so much, like half my feed over on TikTok is about OpenClaw. So yeah, but the thing is you just got to get started. You can't wait for the perfect opportunity. You can't wait for the perfect setup. In fact, I think it's better that you show the imperfections of the entire process. Like I said, your journey. If you share your journey and you come back as the reporter, Russell Brunson says, act as a reporter, where you learn something new and you come back and report it. Don't try and be the expert or the guru. Share what's working, what isn't working. But yeah, there's two ways to go about it. You can be the leader, the guru, or the reporter, where you're sharing your journey. And I was gonna say, if you're doing the affiliate marketing thing, I'm late on every swing. If you're doing the affiliate marketing thing, a good way to go is to do to be the reporter. Take a method that you saw on YouTube and then try and implement it and talk about what's working and what isn't working for you. That's a simple way to go. I mean, essentially, I don't know if you've ever seen my videos, I tried it. That's basically what those I tried it videos are. I saw a method over on YouTube that got a ton of views, and then I simply tried it and I reported back on what worked and what didn't work. Get back. That's essentially what the I tried it series is. It's reporting back to the masses. I got hurt. Oh my God. He got hurt sliding back into first. I tell you. 4 triples. There's no way to improve my durability, I don't think, because I'm built like a paper tiger. Torn ACL. Jeez. I'm going to be out for the season. Torn ACL. All right. What other questions you guys have? The other thing I would tell you, Josh, is don't focus on views. If you're gonna go through YouTube, your time, however, we are still, yeah, you should just shut me down for the season. The torn ACL. What was I saying? Oh, if you're just getting started, Josh, don't focus on views. Your time, and there's no duh. Focus on improving from one video. Focus on the Diamondbacks. We lost in the first round. Focus on, what was I going to say? I'm so annoyed that I got a torn ACL. No contracts. Really annoyed by that. View contract offers. 1 year, 17 mil. I guess I'll take it. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it. Focus on being consistent, consistently uploading, having your schedule in place, because everything that you're going to be doing, and I don't know how many videos that you've uploaded, but everything that you're doing is a skill that needs to be learned, honed, and refined. Right? Yes, I'd like to talk about. No, I think I'm good for now. Because most people, unfortunately, they don't give themselves grace. They don't give themselves the opportunity. They expect to get immediate results. Because they're comparing themselves to other people who have results, they expect that they should get the results immediately. Sim off season. And so if you do that, you're going to set yourself up for failure. However, if you go about it where you recognize that you're learning a skill and you're trying to implement a skill, I can't believe I have a torn ACL. You'll be in a better position. As long as you're working on improving after each video, you'll be in the best position. No thanks, I'm good for now. The people that expect instant success are the ones that get frustrated and they give up because they see other people having success where they don't know how they're getting that success. They automatically think that they're failing. But these are all skills that you're learning and you're building. Build consistency. Consistency is the hardest thing for most people because there isn't a person standing behind you making you do something, forcing you to get started, forcing you to upload a video when you don't feel like it. Maybe you feel sick. Maybe you're tired. Maybe if you have kids, your kids have annoyed the crap out of you all day, or work was hard. Still sitting down and making that video, even when you don't feel like it. Making the video when your last video flopped. Really important. I think consistency and persistence are the two hardest skills that you've got to develop because there isn't necessarily a video, a course, or a training manual that tells you how to be consistent. Right? There's videos out there that tell you how to create content and how to make a digital product and how to do anything and everything. But there isn't a video out there, at least one that I found, that teaches you how to be consistent and how to be consistent when it doesn't feel like it's working, when everything is telling you to stop. That's really important. And if you can master that, everything else is just things that you can learn. Nice. That should be a base hit. Let me know if that makes sense. Most people won't tell you that the hard part is the consistency. It's not learning the skill. We learn skills every day. Playing video games is a skill that we've learned. Creating getting on the internet is a skill that we've learned. We can learn skills, but it's the consistency and persistence aspect that fails most people. Being resilient, relentless at a personal level is key. Yes, that is key. What are the questions you guys have for me? Oh, I forgot to upload the thing here. Maybe I'll do it right now. Maybe I will do it right now. We'll do it live. What other questions? Did they sub me out? Yeah, of course they did. Assholes. Uh, so right now I am trying to upload a TikTok video. What other questions you guys got for me? Do 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 do. I got hurt early in that season. Anyway, I think another issue that people run into is the fear of your family and friends finding out that you're posting. That's a huge problem for some people because they're afraid of what their friends and family and coworkers might think or say. And my question always is why? If your friends and family and coworkers aren't paying your bills, what does it matter what they think? What does it matter what they may or may not say? Um, ooh, did I just upload that to the wrong? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, why does it matter what your friends and family think about you creating content if they're not paying your bills? They're going to say things regardless. They're going to say things if you are making videos, they're going to say things if you're not making videos. They're going to say things anyway. So it doesn't really matter because they're going to have an opinion. And the only opinion that really matters is the opinion of your bank account. If your bank account is fuller today, I'll upgrade that. If your bank account's fuller today, that's all that matters. Or fuller next week. That's all that really matters. Because once you have the proof, and the proof is the views, the money in the bank, the sales, all of that stuff, they'll come around. But yeah, I think that was that's the one thing that I don't necessarily understand is like, well, what about my coworkers? F them. Your coworkers aren't directly contributing. You're not making videos while you're on the clock. Swung way too early at that. So why does it matter? They have no input on anything else that you do outside of work. So why does it matter if you're making content? That was always my question. That's what I always wondered about. So if you're afraid of what your coworkers might think or your family or your friends, tell me why. Because that's the one thing I can never. Ooh, that was a really close one. That is one that I could never quite figure out. Because people are going to say things. Hell, the people that don't know you are going to say much worse to you, to your face behind your back. Yeah, I've never really been concerned. I think maybe that's part of who I am, but I've never really been concerned about what people think or say about what I'm doing. Because they're not paying my bills. They're not contributing to my household. Anyway, any other questions? I don't know how much longer. Usually I try and go live for about an hour. I don't know if I'm going to be on for a full hour. If you have questions, definitely throw them out there. Oh, someone made a comment on my video that I uploaded yesterday about monetizing Minecraft. I'm thinking I might tomorrow make a full video teaching people 5 ways to monetize Minecraft YouTube videos without without AdSense. Because I know a lot of those guys rely on AdSense. But I think that's going to be that might be a video because there's a lot of people out there, like I said, that are interested in Minecraft, like my kids love Minecraft. They play it daily. And so I might make that video. Let me know if that's a video that you'd be interested in. You might not be interested in video in that, but what you can do whenever I make my videos, I always tell people to take the framework but leave the example. And what I mean by that is tomorrow I might make a video talking about Minecraft. However, if you're in the video game niche, you can implement what I'm telling you for the video game niche. If you are, I don't know, in the health and fitness niche, you might be able to take what I'm telling you in the health and fitness niche and implement it, or yeah, take what I'm telling you for the Minecraft niche and implement it for the health and fitness. Take the framework, leave the examples. I made a video, it was probably about a month or two ago at this point, where I was saying, if I were just getting started with digital products, I would pick up the niche of helping men in their 40s lose 20 pounds or more. And someone made a comment like, this niche won't work out for me because blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm just using an example. I'm not telling you that you should do this step by step. It's not going to work for you because you're not a man in your 40s. Take the framework, leave the example. And the example that I like to use is growing up. For example, growing up, and you probably heard this story before. Growing up on Fridays, my mom refused to cook. She absolutely hated to cook. And so what we usually did every single Friday is we would order pizza from Pizza Hut. And the way that we went about it was we would go to Kmart. She would call in the payphone. This is back before people had cell phones. From the payphone, she would call Pizza Hut, place an order for pickup. Pizza Hut was right across the street from Kmart. And then while the food was being made, she would go pay on layaway. And while she was doing the shopping and paying on layaway, I would go over to the electronics section. And inside the electronics section, I would always look at the Mortal Kombat strategy guide. And I would try and remember all the different button combinations for my favorite player. That strategy guide is an example of a digital product that you could create. Okay, let's look at this. I want to start 2 faceless YouTube channels. How do I get gaming or best viewers on? The problem with Twitch is there's a lot of just bots and spammers. Let me read this. So it says, okay, let's look at this. I want to start 2 faceless YouTube channels. How do I get gaming or Minecraft kind of videos? We are interested in such videos. I have a journey to document it. So first thing is I would start with 1 channel at a time, because you don't know how much effort is going to be required to be successful with that 1 channel. So first and foremost, 1 channel at a time. Second, I tell people start with solving problems. No one's going to want to watch you play just because it's you. There are a million people out there that are doing Let's Play, right? Or watch me play type content. That content doesn't work because there's already a million people out there. What I think you should do, and a great place to start, is teach people how to do stuff inside of Minecraft. For example, perfect example, my son is talking to me about Minecraft all the time, and I have no idea what he is talking about. He wanted me, around Christmas time, he wanted me to play Minecraft with him so that I could attract all of the enemies and I would get beat up while he was doing whatever it is that he wanted to do. I have such limited knowledge about Minecraft that I didn't realize that that's what he was doing until I kept dying. He's like, get in this boat and go with me, blah, blah. There's survival mode. There's all sorts of these different modes, and I know nothing about it. So the first thing that I would start with is I would start with a little bit of keyword research. Go over on YouTube, figure out the questions that people are asking. What are people searching with regard to Minecraft? And once you have that information, create those videos. Oh, get back. Create those videos. And the best part about it is the content is evergreen. And I don't know, but I think, got him. I'm not sure on this, but I think Minecraft has like different upgrades and seasons or something where you can get different packs or levels or whatever. I don't know anything about Minecraft. Like I said, my son set me up to basically just get beat up and killed. And like I said, I didn't realize he was doing it. That's what he was doing. Anyway, figure out questions that people are asking with regard to Minecraft. Create content to answer those questions. Go up to the search bar and type in how to do underscore in Minecraft, and then go to the front of the underscore and type in each letter of the alphabet. That's how you get started. Find videos that have low competition or that have a bunch of views and a bunch of views from smaller creators, and make that video, make it better. How can you improve it? But that's what I would do if I were just getting started. Like I said, don't try and reinvent the wheel. Social media, YouTube, they don't want new information. They don't want new content. They want content that's already been proven to work. Does that make sense, Josh? There's a guy already on second. But that's the key. Infield fly rule. Any other questions? Let me know if that makes sense. But that's how I would go about it. But then, figure out, okay, good. Now that you have an idea, how can you monetize it? I mean, there's downloadable content. I know that. Are there skins that you can buy? There's different things that you can buy. One way that you can monetize Minecraft is to create those things, or hire somebody over on Fiverr to create those things for you, different packs. Or you could put together a strategy guide, how to build a house in 5 minutes, how to build the perfect house. Or you could create an online community where you help your community solve a specific problem every single month. Create an unofficial strategy guide for a specific part of Minecraft. I didn't get a great jump there. It's kind of like what I was referencing before with the Mortal Kombat strategy guide. I would try and remember all the button combinations and then get home and play it. Any other questions? Got any other questions for me today? Slider. Oh, I was supposed to send an email. I got to send an email. I got to send an email. Too late. Any other questions? Happy to get them answered before I sign off and move on to the next thing on my to-do list. Nice. Casey. All right, there's already a runner on second. But anyway, one thing that I'll probably leave you with is, hi, Tiara Williams. What is up with you? One thing that I'll probably leave you with is that this is simple. Everything that I'm telling you is really, really simple, but it's not easy. Okay. And the people that struggle and fail because they conflate simple with easy. Simple is not easy, and easy is not simple. On the foundation, at the core, you're just creating content to attract people to you, and then once you attract people to you, you sell a digital product or service. But everything along the way, it's going well. Thanks for asking. Everything along the way is a skill that you're building, and in the very beginning, there's going to be bumps in the road because you probably don't have you probably don't have those skills, and it's going to take time, energy, effort, consistency to build up those skills. But once you have the skills, it can't be taken from you, which is good. We should be able to get him at home. Oh, he's going to be safe. Thought we could get him. Anyway, and if it were easy, as I'm sure you've heard before, if it were easy, everybody else would be doing it. But there's a reason why there are so few people that are actually really successful on the internet, because it's really simple at its foundation. You identify a problem, you solve a problem. That's what a business does. But it's difficult in execution and executing consistently. I have one question about equipment. Can you recommend any experienced entry-level microphone? I want to get started with face content soon. What's your budget? Because the first one I started with was the Blue Snowball. And then I had the Blue Yeti. You only play MLB. No. I don't only play MLB. What you can do, what I encourage people to do, is go to the local pawn shops, go to the local Goodwills, and see if you can find microphones for cheap. See if you can find a discounted microphone. But it all depends on what your budget is. If you have a limited budget, start with a Blue Snowball. If you have a little bit more money, Blue Yeti is fine. I would say a lot of podcasters use the Blue Yeti. I would say start basic and then upgrade over time. Reinvest the money that you make. Don't spend a bunch of money in the very beginning. Reinvest. How long have you been streaming in general? Well, I've been on the internet for like 11 years. We used to have this place nearby called Something Different. It was actually not nearby. It was like 5 miles from here. I used to ride my bike. When I was a kid, I'd ride my bike down there. It was kind of like a secondhand shop. They had all sorts of stuff. I would go there to sell my like my Nintendo games. Anytime there was a new system out, I would go down there to sell it. I would go down there to sell it, and then whatever money that I made, I would put it toward a new game, a new system. Like I even bought an Atari Jaguar. I was probably one of 18 people that bought an Atari Jaguar, but I had it. And so one of the things that they had in there were like used refurbished microphones. If you've got a Guitar Center, you might be able to find they might be selling refurbished, not refurbished, but like gently used microphones there as well. But I would look, I if your budget is really limited, like less than $75, look at a Blue Snowball. If you've got between 100 and I think 150, get a Blue Yeti or a Blue Yeti X, and then just get one of those pop filters or one of those like foam covers. That'll be just fine. You don't really need anything more than that, at least to start. We should be able to get this guy at home. We're not, though. So we got him. Anyway, does that make sense? Yes, it is limited. Bro, your content's really engaging, so why don't you use a gaming mascot? It is. I thought we talked about this before. I'm not going to buy anything from you. And jumping in different lives and having the same script over and over again, because you're the second person that's in this live with that exact same script. It is the least efficient use of your time. What you should be doing instead is creating content to attract people to you, and then you can charge what you want. But you jumping in lives devalues you. So let's say I was like, yeah, I really want you to make a gaming mascot for me. I'm going to say, I don't value your work any more than someone that I could get do it over on Fiverr. I could find someone to do it for $5 over on Fiverr. Even though you might do better work and you might charge a higher price. That's the problem when you are spending a lot of time jumping in different DMs or different lives. You're spending a lot of time for really low conversions. If you're still here, let me ask you a question. What's your conversion rate on jumping on in lives with the same script? Probably less than 1%. Your conversions would be much higher if you created content, whether it's on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or YouTube, where you're attracting people to you. And your videos work for you instead of you having to manually jump in these lives with the same script. Yeah, like I said, I think we had this conversation before. And there are I would be really interested in knowing what your conversion rate is. How many lives you jump in versus people that actually buy from you. What's your conversion rate? And then also factor in to do another calculation, how much you charge versus how many hours you spend jumping in these different live streams with the same script. That's your value per hour, your dollar per hour. If it's not more than, I don't know, $20 an hour, you'd be better off getting a regular job. And that's not to disparage people with regular jobs. It's just the fact of the matter. It's the math. You probably won't get an answer. But that's the value of content creation. Your content, like I said, I've got, I don't know, 8,000 people watching my YouTube videos right now while I'm talking to you. Some of those 8,000 people, maybe 1%, are going to go to my sales page of something that I'm selling. Versus you having to jump in. How many lives can you jump in per day? If you did this full time, can you do 100 lives per day? Very curious to know this. I should have asked you that. What's your conversion rate? Because your conversion rate has to be low. Because you're using the exact same script as everybody else. Any other questions? What time is it? We got about another 30 seconds or so. Feel free to throw out any questions that you have. If not, this is going to be the last game. Do. No more questions. All right, thanks for hopping on, guys. The lives are always so much better when people jump in and comment and ask questions and engage. So I appreciate that. I try to go live every day at 1 p.m. Sometimes I don't. Fridays, I won't be able to because the kids get out of school early. But the goal is to go live every day at 1 p.m. So thanks so much, guys, for hopping on and watching and engaging. Have a great day, and we will talk soon.